have come sooner? And what emotions accompany that? Is it frustration? Does it just have to be, kind of a looking forward and an ability to continue this?
You say that again? That was a long-ass question.
Fair enough. You guys played better tonight.
Yes.
You guys played much better in a lot of areas tonight. Why weren't you able to do it sooner, and how do you continue this?
Yeah, it's we had to play our A game. It was this or we go on vacation. So I thought the group did a great job of not pressing, letting the game happen. The flow was there. We've done this in the first 3 games. It's just we haven't been able to capitalize. We've made the mistakes, and they've capitalized on that. They shot the 3 well. We tried to keep them off the free throw line tonight and not giving them second opportunities. So I thought they did a really good job of being able to execute the game plan and let the game come to us. We made some shots. Finally, our role players stepped up and made some threes, and that's what we needed tonight.
Mike Curtis, Dallas Morning News. Jason, Luka responded, obviously, tonight with 29 points. 25 of those came in the first half. Just what did you see from him and his temperament throughout the game and how he was able to get to the rim?
Yeah, I thought he was great. He's been great. Some would say differently, but he's averaging over 25 in this series, I think, and he's playing at a very high level. I don't know so much respond. He's been doing everything for us on the offensive end and defensive end, and I thought he played his game tonight. He didn't force anything. I thought his rebounding and being able to let other guys, with the pace, we talked about it, we got to play faster, and I thought he set the pace for us tonight.
Let's go, Jake.
Jake Fisher, Yahoo Sports. The 2 big lineup with Dereck and Maxey, and then Josh Green in with Kai and Luka. What about that group tonight do you think was so effective on both sides of the floor?
Yeah, I thought they were great. It was carryover from Game 3. I thought the energy group there that ended in Game 3, that fourth quarter, I thought that group energy and pace on both ends. Defensively, we got stops, and then offensively, we got into the paint where we could capitalize. But I thought Josh's energy has been great. The defense, again, in this series has been really good. It's just for us, when it comes down to not making a mistake at the wrong time, and tonight we didn't do that. We capitalized on their mistakes.
Front row, Tim.
Tim McMahon, ESPN. Luka vowed that he wasn't going to be distracted by discussions with the officials, and followed through on that a lot, like he did Game 5 versus OKC. How do you think his demeanor and his focus set a tone?
I thought it was great. He was Luka. I mean, he's been Luka. He wasn't anybody different tonight. There was not a different Luka out there. It was Luka. He played at a high level. He was great. He's been great. He's one of the best players in the world. And as much as we want to criticize, he's a hell of a player.
All the way in the back, Tim.
Jason, Tim Reynolds with the AP. You said before the game somebody was either going to make a stand or somebody was going to let go of the rope. Was there something you saw early that suggested that your guys had a stand in them tonight?
Yeah, to score. It's real simple. We don't have to complicate this. This isn't, surgery. Our group was ready to go. They were ready to celebrate and understand we made a stand. We were desperate, and we got to continue to keep playing that way. Understand they're trying to find to close the door. The hardest thing in this league is to close the door when you have a group that has nothing to lose. And so tonight you saw that, and they let go of the rope, pretty early.
Brad in the middle.
Jason, Brad Towns of Dallas Morning News. You mentioned Lively showing his range. I believe he'd only tried 2 threes this year. Is that actually something you drew up for him? He didn't show any hesitation.
No, he was in the right spot. He took it from there. He could shoot, and that's the next step for his development, is being able to shoot the 3. He's young, but as a 20-year-old, he's grown up in the AAU circuit where he can't. In high school, he can shoot, he can handle. He would tell you he played point guard, so his ability to be able to bring the ball and being able to shoot the 3 is the next step for him. He has all the skill set, but right now for what the role we need him to do is do what he did tonight: offensive rebound, change shots, and be able to guard.
And then when you look at you mentioned the bench players. I thought when Exum came in and hit those early shots, it was a big lift for you. What kind of psychological lift does that give the team when guys come off the bench and start making shots like that?
Yeah, that's who we've been all season. Exum has played, at a high level for us all season. He's been able to run the offense. He stepped up and made big shots for us to win. And then I thought tonight, even the one that he shot from out of bounds, that he made it. That could easily have changed his confidence, but I thought he was aggressive, while he was out on the floor, and he was great, and we're going to need that on the road.
Dorothy here in the middle.
Can you talk a little bit about the balanced scoring effort from your team? I think first half, all 9 players, everybody scored. So talk about the balanced scoring effort tonight.
Yeah, again, when you're desperate, the ball starts to move. Guys are not, overthinking it, and again, being able to make some threes tonight from our role players were huge. When you talk about D. Jones, Exum, and then D. Live, just understanding that's who we've been all season. We can shoot with the best of them, and tonight we displayed that.
Dave here on the left.
Jason, Dave McMahon with ESPN. How did desperation and urgency factor into your guys' overall performance tonight, especially defensively with 3 steals from Luka, chasing down, intercepting steal after missing a long shot, and how do you carry that over to Boston?
Yeah, I think we have nothing to lose going to Boston. That mindset of being aggressive, and then to answer the first part of your question, Luka, as we know, can play defense, and you saw that tonight. Some of the criticism that he's had, here of late. For whatever reason, talked about his defense, and I think he stepped up and was there. And he knows in Boston he's going to be right back where, in the pick and roll, and so he's going to have to compete and play defense again.
Last question here on the left.
Right here, Coach Jayson. Thank you for your time. Valencia King, Real Talk Sports out of Dallas. Of course, you're getting a lot of questions about Lively, and rightfully so, but we also got a chance to see Omax tonight. How would you describe his road in being ready for the moment during the finals?
Yeah, I thought everybody who participated today was ready, and I thought Omax, as a rookie coming off injury, I thought he did a good job getting his first minutes in the finals.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Luka Dončić is on his way, so if you have any questions, please raise your hand. We'll get to you.
Number 2 on the aisle on the second line. Chris, second row on your left.
Al, the group was very intentional about not looking ahead to what tonight could be. Did you feel that perhaps a little of that's filtered into tonight, or was tonight just more about Dallas?
I think it was more about Dallas. I felt like they were the better team tonight. Clearly, they played much better, and you got to give them credit.
Fourth row on your left.
Yeah, I was just Joe was just in there saying that he thought Dallas played harder than you guys tonight. Do you agree with that assessment? And how do you feel like your guys' urgency level was compared to where they were at?
Yeah, I felt like, we came out determined that they were the better team. They were the team that was playing harder. He's right.
Jay, back left.
You guys probably felt pretty comfortable in the series coming into tonight. How do you regroup after taking a loss like this, and what do you need to do to ensure it doesn't happen again? We have an opportunity here to be better, and it all starts with us, going over this film and having a good practice session, and understand the opportunity we have in front of us. So that's what we're gonna do.
John, all the way in the back left.
Al, it seemed like the decision-making was a little uncharacteristic for you guys in this game compared to the first 3 games. Was there a sense of when the Mavs started to go on a run there at the end of the first quarter that maybe some guys tried to do a little too much themselves? Maybe you got a little caught up in we need to answer Dallas versus play your game and get out of it just naturally?
I'm not
First
sure.
question here
I
on
just
the
know.
left.
Luka, lep pozdrav, teda Lampret, Pop TV. Lahko poveste, kako utišate vas hrup okoli vas, ki se dogaja še posebej v tej finalni seriji in še posebej, ker je bilo zadnje dni pred to tekmo nekaj kritik?
Probam ne gledati na to. Kritike bo zmer tam. Jaz sem tukaj, da uživam, da igram košarko in to je meni veselje. Vem, da zmerom ne bo glih lepo, ne igra se zmer dobro, ampak jaz tukaj uživam z igranjem košarke.
Tim McMahon here on the right.
Luka, you told us yesterday that you were going to leave the refs alone and focus on having fun. Then you followed through on that, like OKC Game 5. What difference do you think that made for you tonight?
It just helps out my team. We were locked in. I think especially in the defensive end, we played with pace, and that helps them. I'm here to help them, in every way I can. So we just got to play like that.
Luka, Dave McMenamin, ESPN. How does the outlook change now in the series that you have a win under your belt and you have a few more days of life headed to Boston?
I mean, it doesn't change anything. Like I said at the beginning of the series, it's first to four, and we're gonna believe till the end. So we just gotta keep going. I have big belief in this team that we can do it. So we just gotta keep believing.
Tim Reynolds in the back.
Luka, Tim Reynolds with the AP. You've said all series about the belief that you have, that this team has. How much more satisfying is it, number one, that people saw why that belief is there, but also this wasn't just you. You had a big first half, but you had a lot of guys do a lot of big things tonight. How critical is that for this group?
Yeah, it's big. It's basketball. There's 5 people on the floor, so that's huge for us. Everybody play with a lot of energy, and that's how we got to do it. We got to think the same way in Game 5 in Boston.
Over here on the left, Sarah.
Hey, Luka. Over the last 4 games, what's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself and what it's going to take to continue to win on this stage?
I don't know what to learn from myself. Next day, I'll come up with the answer. I don't know really right now. But it's going to take everything. It's going to take energy, and especially energy. Because it's late in the season, we played a lot of games, so it's going to take, we got to stay together and locked in.
Here in the middle.
Luka, Robert Poredoš, Slovenska tiskovna agencija. Danes ste imeli v živo tudi podporo predsednika slovenske vlade. A ste se videla, ste se slišala, vam je povedal kaj koristnega?
Ja, na hitro. Pred tekmo sem mu pozdravil, tako da smo se videli.
Tanya on the left.
Luka, Tanya Ganguly, New York Times. Jayson came in here before the game and gave sort of an impassioned defense of you. He said a lot of the criticism you've been receiving has become personal and is a little unfair. And I'm wondering, did he say any of that to you? And whether he did or not, what does it mean to you that he had your back like that?
Oh, no, he didn't say anything to me especially. But that speaks a lot about him. He always has our players back. He always supports us. So that's a big thing to have a coach like that.
First row here.
Daniel Schwartzman, Luka Televisa. Habías dicho que la clave era divertirte. ¿Qué tanto te divertiste, lo disfrutaste y qué tan especial fue para ti esta noche?
Sí, muy especial. Creo que no solo yo me divertí mucho, sino todo el equipo. Todo el equipo estaba divirtiendo y eso es la clave para nuestros partidos adelante.
Right here on the left, fifth row.
Tu primer victoria en unas finales de la NBA, Luka, por acá. La afición sigue apoyando, sigue emocionada. ¿Cómo te sientes? Y también con visita especial Sergio Ramos en la casa esta noche. Gracias y buenas noches.
Sí, la gente estuvo estupenda hoy, en el tercer partido también. Y significa mucho de que todavía creen en nosotros. Y la verdad que sí, ha sido un honor tener a Sergio aquí, una leyenda en madridismo, así que ha sido un honor muy grande.
On the right, Mike.
Luka, Mike Curtis, Dallas Morning News. Dereck Lively had a very impactful game. a double-double. Just what did you see from him, just stepping up on the stage, and what did you think of that three-pointer he hit in the corner?
Big time, man. I think people forget he's a rookie. He's a rookie doing this stuff. He's been amazing the whole season. Just watching him grow was unbelievable. And it's fun having him out there with me and calling my teammate. It's unbelievable, and it's a pleasure to have him. And he's 50% of the season, so he might as well keep shooting.
Last
He's
row.
1 for 2, right? All right. He's 1 for 1. He's 100% in the playoffs.
Last row.
Mojca Breskva, Radio Slovenija. Luka, ste kot ekipa čutili kaj dodatnega pritiska, da morate zmagati to tekmo in kako zdaj to, kar ste pokazali, prenesti tudi v Boston?
Smo, seveda smo. Noben noče biti tako izločen iz finala. Moramo pogledati to tekmo, kako smo igrali, kakšna je bila naša energija in tako moramo tudi igrati peto tekmo.
Thanks, Luka. Thank you. Exum is next. If you have a question, please raise your hand.
Ask him about red stuff.
All right, questions for Dante. Raise your hand, please. Let's go start with Dwayne here on the right.
Dwayne Price, Mavs.com, over here. Over here, Dante. Dante.
There you go.
From a personal standpoint, what's that like for you when you're in a groove like that and you got everything going your way?
Yeah, I think for me it's just to come in and do what I do with my minutes. I think obviously Luka creates a lot of attention and just using that to my advantage to get downhill. And then obviously I've been super confident with my shot all year. So unfortunate that one of them got taken away, but I just got to stay confident and keep shooting.
Dante, Dave McMenamin with ESPN. What stood out to you that was different about Luka's game 4 versus the rest of the series thus far?
No, I think just the energy that we showed, throughout the team. Even when stuff didn't go our way, it wasn't heads down. It was all right, next possession, and that's something we've kind of preached the whole series, and I think we were finally able to do that.
Let's go with Valencia right here.
Valencia King, Real Talk Sports. Thank you for your time, Dante. I won't ask you about the confidence level of this team because you guys have never given us a reason to think that you're not confident, but I will ask you about the work ethic. We've seen guys like Omax who recently battled back from injury, yourself, and Maxey. How would you describe the work ethic of this team?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. I mean, a lot of the times guys go through ups and downs, and it's just about getting back in the gym and, doing our craft, doing, what we know, whether that's lifting, shooting, extra reps, anything. You see everyone on this team doing that. So, and it shows on the court.
Steve here on the right.
Steve Ashburner, NBA.com. Before the game, Jayson had termed criticism that had come Luka's way as a personal attacks on him. Were you guys aware of him taking heat for the way things had gone, particularly in Game 3, and did that factor into tonight, in your opinion?
No. I think obviously Luka's got to hold himself to a high standard, and him fouling out, doesn't give us the best position to, win. Obviously, we need him on the court, and he knows that. So I know he's gonna, as a competitor, he's gonna hold himself accountable, and we did too.
Jake here on the left.
Dante, Jake Fisher with Yahoo Sports. The three-guard lineup, when you, Luka, and Kyrie are all on the floor, has been really successful on both sides of the floor throughout this whole season. What do you think is like the secret sauce to how you guys can be so effective together?
Yeah, no, I think one of the biggest things is, I go on the court and I think I'm going to be on Tatum or Brown, and Kyrie's like, no, I've got him. And I think that's huge, where I can press the ball, be up and play on the help side. So, I mean, just for Kyrie to kind of step up and say, like, I'm going to take that defensive challenge is, huge for us.
Second row here on the right.
Mac Engel, Fort Worth Star Telegram. I think any Mavericks fan watching this game tonight and seeing you guys play so well would probably ask, where has this been in the first 3 games? Dante, where would you say this has been the first 3 games?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's there's a lot of ups and downs that go through a series and just the playoffs in general. But I think we knew kind of what we can do and how we can be. Obviously, we know not every game is going to be like that, but I think if we stick to kind of who we are as a team and stay positive, we just need to take one game at a time.
Right here in the first row.
Dante, Joey Mastretta with Clutch Points. A lot's been made about the criticism of Luka, but whether it's Luka, Kyrie, Coach Kidd, whoever, when they get that criticism, is there a little bit of extra motivation from the whole team to step up and just have their back?
Yeah, I mean, I think criticism's always going to come when we lose. I think if we won a game or two, the criticism isn't as bad. But Jay Kidd, he played, so he understands it. All competitive, so they're going to take it on the chin and come out, and that's the challenge that we have to do every game. We don't really, obviously we watch it because we're on our phones a lot, but it's just about coming out and playing our basketball, and that's what we did.
Sixth row here on the left.
Dante, Jonah Javad with WFAA. You mentioned wanting to get downhill more. The pace was noticeably better tonight. How much of that was a point of emphasis as a team, or you just taking it upon yourself to push the ball up court a little bit more than we've seen the last 3 games?
Yeah, I think it's contagious. I come in, I do it, and everyone starts to build that pace. Everyone's running their lanes, but I think also it's getting defensive stops. That helps it a lot. I think my main focus when I go in is, even when they do score, it's like telling the big, all right, let's go get it and try and push it during those times because it's easy to push when we have an advantage.
Thanks, Dante.
Cool. Thank you.
Drew Holiday's on his way in. All right, we got Lively coming to the podium. If you have a question, please raise your hand. It'll start first. Right here in the first row.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, Dereck, Joey Mastretta, Plus Points. You're 20 years old in the NBA Finals. You go out and do what you did tonight. You're just dominating the boards and everything. Can you just put into words how you're feeling right now?
I'm not comfortable. We got to win. We got to get a lot more wins. We got to win a lot more of the little battles. Got to stay disciplined. We just got to replicate what we just did this game, do it the next one.
Jake there.
Jake Fisher, Yahoo Sports. First one, what's in your post-game shake you got there?
A mix between a bunch of fruits, not vegetables, a bunch of fruits, and just some recovery stuff, making sure my body don't cramp or anything like that.
2 years ago, his team made the Western Conference Finals. This year, they're here. The year in between, they kind of baldly tanked to get someone of your caliber. What does it feel like to be inserted into this situation and have such a role on this team so early and have the confidence from everybody in this organization?
They're my family. We've developed a lot of trust with one another, a lot of chemistry. And, that trust just comes down to, if you get blown by, they know I have their back. Just at the same time, I know if I get blown by, I got people behind me to back me up. So it's just really just doing whatever you can to make sure that whenever one person steps, we all step in with them.
Tim Cato.
Tim Cato, The Athletic. Could you have ever imagined that, even though you shoot three-pointers every practice, that you're going to make your first one, Game 4 of the NBA Finals?
It's for her. She helped me make it. She's going to help me make a lot more. She helped me make it the free throw line. She helped me make reads. I'm just thankful for having Luka pass me the ball in that position. I'm happy I knocked it down. Just got to be able to make the next one.
See some more of them throughout the series.
They leave me open in the corner, I'm going to get them up for sure. It's just having that trust. Like I said, Luka going to give me the ball. As soon as I shot it, he knew he kind of jumped for joy when it went in. So just having that reaction from my teammates is amazing. Just makes me want to just learn, makes me want to just practice and just do more.
Seventh row in the middle.
Blake Elliott, 105.3 The Fan. Dereck, only two 20-year-olds have had multiple double-doubles in the playoffs and in the finals, you and Magic Johnson. What have you learned about yourself throughout this playoff run and this finals run?
Whatever doesn't kill you really makes you stronger. No matter how many times you get hit, no matter how many times you get knocked down, get up. Get up harder than you got knocked down and hit them harder than they hit you. It's just trying to, like I always say, just throw the first punch. But what it really comes down to is when you get punched, are you going to throw one back or you're just going to concede?
Tim here in the front.
What's up, Tim?
So, man, did you get a feel for the way that the crowd reacted when you let that three go and when it splashed?
As I jogged down, I slowly just heard it kept getting louder and louder. And, whenever you have the fans hype like that and backing you up, it just makes you want to play that much more free and with that much more energy.
Valencia here on the left.
Valencia King, Real Talk Sports. Appreciate your time. It's obviously a rookie season. We've talked to you about that all year long, but we also saw a bit of Omax, who's been in this rookie season with you. What was it like for you to see him kind of get a chance to play in the NBA Finals tonight?
I'm happy he was able to get out there, just feel the energy, feel just everything about the experience. He hasn't been able to step on the floor for a long time now because he's been hurt. So just going out there, I was just telling him to slow down, just enjoy it. Feel your way through this game. Don't rush anything and just feel your way through the game, find the little holes and just understand, absorb it all. I know he did. I know he's thinking about a lot of things, but, I got a lot of trust in Omax.
Seventh row on the left.
Derek, Jonah Javad with WFAA. I'm coming into this series, one of the storylines was how little finals experience this Mavericks team had, and now you've got 4 games. What would you say is the mindset of the team now versus maybe 2 weeks ago, and maybe a comfortability level that you all might share?
I wouldn't say it's comfortability. I feel like we go out there and we play like we're desperate. That's the mentality we need to have going in these games. Going out there just doing whatever you can to win. No matter if you're diving out of bounds, diving on the ball, chesting up with somebody and just trying to be aggressive and strong. A lot of this playoff season, playoff series has just been finding out who we are, finding how much can we get hit and then throw one back. So it's definitely been an enjoyable time to just see my teammates and myself just grow and adapt with one another and just what's going on the floor.
Third row here on the left, Dave.
Derek, Dave McBennett with ESPN. Luka, his defensive game was kind of picked apart through the first 3 games of the series in terms of people observing what was going on. He has 3 steals tonight. Obviously, as a team, you guys played great defense. Was there any change in his approach, in his execution, that kind of helped you guys be able to compete as a unit out there?
He trusts us. He trusts us to know that he's going to play the best defense he can with the much energy he got. And if they get by him, then he knows that we're going to back him up. He knows exactly what we're going to do and how we have his back. The only thing I told him is just, look, going out there, first 2 times you get fouled, just don't say nothing to the refs. That's all I got. Just please don't do that, and I'm going to make sure you're going to get open. I'll make sure you're going to be comfortable on the offensive end and the defensive end. So just knowing that whenever he's going out there playing a defensive and he's locked in on defense, it just makes everything fall into place better on the offensive end.
In the back.
Hey, Derek. Leandro Sarhan from ESPN Brazil. I just wanted to know how was the locker room after such a big win, and how can you guys get ready for that hostile environment in Boston?
I wouldn't say we're overly happy. We enjoyed this win, but we're not jumping for joy. We got to win. We do what we need to do for this game, and now as we get into Game 5, we're going into another hostile environment, And now we just got to take what we did from this game, learn from how they're going to adapt to this game, and just do whatever we can to just reambulate and just try to make this game happen again.
Thanks, Derek.
Thank you.
Jaylen's on his way in. Take questions for Jaylen. We have the microphones around the room. We'll go Gary in the middle and first one on number 2.
Jaylen, you guys seem to play decent for the first 6 minutes, and then just everything kind of went haywire. What happened out there? And in a closeout game, a game with such importance, why did you guys just play so poorly?
I don't even know how to answer that.
Two last row in the corner.
Somebody else, next question.
John, back left.
Jaylen, the first 3 games, the decision-making from you guys was pretty much like right on point. Seemed like this game, the decision-making was a little bit different. Was there something that changed that, or what did you see from that perspective?
Give credit to Dallas. I think they play hard physically, and then they dominated the glass. I think that was the key that put a lot of pressure on us, and then we didn't make shots tonight, and I think that's where we allowed them to play free. Once we did, we get them multiple opportunities to make shots, and then also we didn't hit shots on the other end. So we're going to look at the film and see where we can better, and we go from there.
Standing on your left, Jared.
Jared Weiss, The Athletic. You guys have had so many different metaphors for understanding that when you're on top is when you're also most vulnerable to fall. So being in this situation for the first time of on the verge of clinch a championship, how'd you feel like all of those lessons you've learned kind of felt in that moment?
It's a great opportunity to respond. Give credit to Dallas. They came out and they played with force and they played great. So we regroup. We keep our same mentality. And we come out and get ready to fight in another battle on our home floor.
Third row on your right.
Hey, Jaylen, Jack Simone, SB Nation. You've taken it upon yourself to be super vocal this year. What do you say to the guys after a game where, like you said, Dallas just played amazing and you guys have to move on right away?
We learn from it. We take it. We don't dismiss it. We're going to learn from it. We're going to see how and why, exactly where, the game was won and lost. And then we take those experiences and then we come out and we play like our life depends on it, because it does.
Chris on your left.
Jaylen, do you feel like the opportunity to clinch tonight played any role in terms of kind of the mentality of this game, and what did you learn about what it's going to take to close this group out?
Closeout games are hard. Closeout games are tough. They always have been like that, and you got to have extreme focus. You got to come out and meet their intensity to finish things out. So we didn't do that tonight. Give credit to Dallas. I thought they played extremely well. Those guys, they crashed, they rebounded, they played with force. Some of those other guys stepped up, and we got to be better, and we got to have some of our guys step up, and that's what it takes.
Dan, this side, second row.
Dan Devine, Yahoo Sports, over here. One of the things you had a lot of success with in the first 3 games was keeping their three-point volume down. They got up more tonight, and they seemed like they were able to get into a little bit more rhythm of drive and kick. What were they doing differently to open those things up, crowbar open more of those looks that you saw tonight?
I feel like the pace slowed down a little bit, which allowed them to kind of dictate what they wanted to do. I think we got to continue to keep the pace, but have some more poise, just see where we can be better. And we'll watch film and we'll see. Right now it feels raw, so we just got to look at film and go from there.
Last 2 questions in the front and then on the left side.
Jaylen, you've kind of become some sort of heir apparent of the leadership role in this team. And, there's been pushback. There's 17 captains. I get it. But it seems like you really have one of the loudest voices on this team. What are you learning about yourself as a leader in losses, and especially a loss like this?
These are the moments that, can make you or break you. We got to reassemble. We got to look at it. We got to learn from it, and then we got to embrace it and attack it. It's going to be hard to do what we're trying to do, and we didn't expect anything to be easy. But there's no reason to lose our head. You know, tip your cap to Dallas. They came out and they played well, and we just got to be better on the next one.
Our media, what's the most important lesson you learned from tonight's game?
I'm not sure as of yet, but we're going to watch it. We're going to learn from it. As of now, we just got to be better. Got to meet their intensity. It's the NBA playoffs. It's the NBA finals. So looking forward to the next one.
Thank you, Jaylen. Jayson will be right up. All right, we'll take questions. First question up here in the front fourth seat.
Hi, Steve Buckley from The Athletic. You guys were down 0-3 last year, Game 4. You had that big comeback. You had I think 25 points in the second half. So can you at least see where they're coming from tonight, what their mindset was coming into this game, they're being down 0-3?
I mean, absolutely. Like you said, a year ago this time we were down 0-3, and we're essentially fighting for our lives. So very short answer, yeah, we understand what it's like, you know, from their point of view. And, you know, they came out super aggressive. They, you know, playing extremely fast and took more shots than we did. You know, they were really concentrating on attacking the offensive glass. They got way more rebounds than we did. So, you know, they played harder tonight. And obviously we didn't shoot the ball well at all. And it's something that we can learn from.
Front left, Jared.
Jared Weiss, The Athletic. You guys have talked in so many different metaphors about how hard it is to finish something off this year. You get to the first clinching game for a title of your career. How big of a challenge was it, and how hard was it to try to problem solve in real time and go through all those different things?
Yeah, I mean, give them credit. They played well tonight, and we didn't. We had the right mindset and the right intentions, right? We wanted to come out and play super well and win, but it just didn't go that way tonight. But, you know, we're fortunate we get another opportunity on Monday.
Over here on your right.
Hey, Jason. Jack Simone, SB Nation. Jaylen came in here and said, next time you're out there, you got to play like your life depends on it, because it does. You recently said in an interview, if you got back to this point, you would do whatever you needed to take to win. After a loss like this, I'm curious what your process is mentally of, like, absorbing it and moving on.
Yeah, just not to harp on it too much. Like, it happened. We can't change what happened tonight. You know, we always say you lose by 2 or you lose by 30. Right? They all count the same. But we do need to be better. Like, we're not making any excuses. We need to be better, and we will. We will be better.
John, back left.
Jason, Joe talked about the Mavs kind of causing some indecision at the rim, kind of making you unsure of whether you should shoot or pass. What were they doing, and just what did you make of your teams and your decision-making in general tonight?
Yeah, I think we were a little – I think this was the most stagnant that we've been this series. And the worst job of owning our space.
on the offensive end and doing what we wanted to do instead of what they were forcing us to do. And, you know, we did a great job of that the first 3 games, and this one we didn't.
Dan, here in the front right.
Dan Devine, Yahoo Sports. You guys have been getting up a ton of corner threes, generating a lot of those driving kick to the corner. Only got, I think, 6 of those tonight before garbage time. What were you seeing from them defensively in terms of the way they were closing out on those corners and shutting down those opportunities for you?
I think it starts on the defensive end for us. We didn't get many stops, so they were allowed to set their defense up. And just naturally, when you're scoring at a high rate, you feel good about yourself, your energy is higher, tend to probably play better defense. So it all starts on the defensive end. We just got to do a much better job containing them, making it tougher, and getting stops.
Robert, third row on your left.
Robert Littal, BSO. When dealing with a blowout, is your process more to, like you kind of spoke about before, just kind of flush it, move on as quickly as possible, or are you someone that like watches the game over, watches the tape of it, and gets kind of angry or motivated since it was a blowout?
It's a little bit of both. You have to move on from it, win or a loss. We're obviously going to watch film and see a lot of things that we need to clean up and do better. But you can't worry about it too much because we have another game on Monday. And like I said, not making any excuses. We got to be a lot better, and I believe that we will.
Last question, Chris, on the second row on the left.
On the game on Monday, Game 5, what do you expect the Garden to be like? What would it mean to you to clinch on your home floor that night?
I think it's going to be as loud as it's ever been in my 7 years of being a Celtic. Excited to go back home, celebrate Father's Day on Sunday, and compete for a championship on Monday. So it should be a lot of fun.
Thank you, Jason. And that's all. Thanks, folks.
We got Kyrie approaching the podium. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Start with Tom. On the right, Tomer.
Tomer Azarla with Clutch Points. Kyrie, it's a bit of a two-parter. The sense of desperation that a team plays with down 3-0, are you able to replicate that in another game? Like, how do you bring that same exact mentality in next game?
Yeah, but just by putting it in perspective, just what we're up against, history's going to be made either way, so we would like to be on the right side of it. But it just comes from just the same sentiment, same phrase I was using the other day, just putting our best foot forward. Felt like Game 3, we had a good chance to close out that game to at least put us in a competitive spot. But we waited until Game 4 to ultimately play our best game. Took long enough, for all of us to get to the party together and to play for each other the way we did tonight. But it's definitely a possibility that we can replicate it, but we understand that we're going against the same great Boston team that's going to make it tough, and we're going into their home den, and we have another opportunity to extend the season. That's all we can ask for. So we handled our business tonight, but the job is still an uphill battle, and we understand that.
I saw that you...
Let's go in the middle.
Blake Elliott, 105.3 The Fan. Kai, I asked you on Wednesday about your mindset. Right here in the middle. I asked you on Wednesday about your mindset and staying positive and extending the series, and you shared a metaphor to get the bazooka, the 50 cal. Do you think that job was executed tonight, and then how does that help kind of the way y'all won tonight in a hostile Boston crowd for Game 5?
Yeah, no, it was how we started off the game, and our ability to go home, get some rest, not having the same 48 hours to get our bodies ready and recover. So it felt like it was pretty much the regular season in terms of that aspect. And what I was referring to in that metaphor is just go home and get all the armor, get all the ammo that you need, and get ready for this, because we're going to have to keep firing away to give ourselves a chance on the offensive end. But I think for us, we wanted to make it very much more respectable than it has been in the past few games in terms of limiting our mistakes on the defensive end. We've been one of the best teams in the league of getting stops, and that's been our identity. And we play better, I think, offensively, and this is just my opinion. I think it can vary across the team, but I think we play better offensively when we're getting stops and able to push the pace and get easy opportunities in transition, which we weren't doing the past few games as often. So it felt good to be on the positive end of seeing our hard work reward us, and especially on the defensive end.
Third row here, Dave.
Kyrie, Dave McBennett with ESPN. You're so familiar with it, what it's like to be in the eye of the storm, playing at the ultimate stage in the NBA. That said, how would you describe Luka's response tonight?
I think he made a few people eat their words in a healthy way. I'll say that in a healthy way. I don't want to curse up here or anything like that or get anyone into any, unnecessary beef, right, between us as players and the media. But I think this is his first opportunity and first taste of what it's like to be on this stage and to not play up to your capabilities, or to be out there towards the end of the game where every mistake is magnified. I think that's probably what I'm really referring to, is when every mistake is magnified, there is going to be a response, and that's your guys' job to give us your criticism, and then we go home and deal with it in a healthy way, hopefully. But I think with Luka, just like I've been reiterating to the guys, just stay off of social media as best you can, man, and just enjoy the moment that we're in. And it's not just about making it this far. It's about figuring out the little nuances to get wins on this stage. That's what it's about for us as competitors, and that's where our focus should be. So he responded very well, and I expected it. I think a lot of people expected it too that have seen Luka, have known Luka, but just didn't know how it was going to happen. And he made some things happen tonight that I was very proud of him, and he grew. And that's what we've been talking about too since the beginning of the series, is our growth and us trending in the right direction and figuring out how we get wins together as a group with all those external factors still going on. How do you still lock in? How do you still focus in? How do you breathe through some of those mistakes? And I think he did a great job of that tonight. So hopefully we can still extend this series going into Game 5, but we know we still have to play our best, and we have to control what we control. Yeah.
Fourth row, Ramona.
Kyrie, Ramona Shelburne, ESPN. You talked the other day about how
Boston really knows your game because you were there, you know those guys, and that was the challenge you had to meet yourself of them just really knowing how you play.
Yeah, how many games was it that they had in a row? Was it 17?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how have you
crazy.
been able to take that? Like when somebody knows what you do, how have you been able to evolve throughout this game and maybe the last half of the last game too?
It's taken time, I tell you that. You know, and it's difficult because as a competitor, you try not to display all your emotions out there to give an edge, but when you're going against some of the best, they're going to use everything to their advantage, and I think they've been able to do that, and that's why I refer to just having my number or knowing my game very well, and I think I was able to take a step back too and talk to my teammates a little bit more about just what that pressure can feel like, you know, not just from losing to a team, but just going against a team and knowing that they're doing everything possible to stop you, but it's a team game. So I have to really rely on my teammates, and I think, you know, we all did a great job of that tonight of just continuing to support each other. And it's not just me versus Celtics or Luka versus Celtics or anyone versus the media. It's us, you know, against the world, sort of say, and going against this good Celtics team. You know, you saw all those Celtics fans in there tonight. So they travel in packs. You know, when we go back to Boston, there's going to be a bunch of them yelling a whole bunch of crazy stuff still. But I think we've been able to grow and face kind of this adversity head on, and, you know, and we're figuring out each other in a crazy way during the highest stage of basketball. So it's a beautiful thing, but it's also can be chaotic if you don't know how to stay poised through it. So I think we're figuring out each other throughout those phases. Appreciate the question, Ramon.
6th row, Vinny.
Kyrie, Vince Goodwill, Yahoo Sports. Before the game tonight, Jayson had an impassioned sort of defense of the criticism to Luka.
Rightfully so.
What does it mean when the coach goes out of his way to have his players back unprompted like that, like feeling that support?
I think it shows you how important it is to have quality leaders in the locker room and somebody that's been through it, somebody that can talk through it, and also somebody that's more than willing to sacrifice themselves to take the bullets and the brunt of the responsibility, because he knows how important it is for us to focus on the right things. We can't be focused on trying to answer all these unfair critical questions. I mean, some of them may be fair, right? But I think if you're not necessarily out there playing with us, it's going to be hard for us to connect, you know, if you're talking shit about one of our teammates. And we're not going to go for it. And I think that's what you're seeing, not just from us, but our head coach. He's dealt with his fair share of criticism from some of you guys in this room and some guys in the past, and some of you criticize him as a coach, rightfully so, like I said. But I think if it goes over a certain boundary, you're going to see real humans step up and protect their brother or their sister. So I think that's what you saw from J Kidd. I'm proud of him, and I have the same sentiment, man. That's our little brother right there, and he's in the finals. He's going to make mistakes, and that's why I also had that kind of peaceful sentiment about me after the game. I'm not about to go up to Luka and just say it's all your fault. That's not how it works in our locker room, and we dang sure don't want to start those bad habits now. I've been on teams where we've allowed the media or opinions to infiltrate what we have going on, and it has not worked out well. So I think if we put our best foot forward and focus on the things we control, then we got a good thing going here.
1st row on the right, Mike.
Mike Curtis, Dallas Morning News. Kyrie, Dereck Lively had 2 3-point attempts this season in his career. When he hoisted that shot up, what were you thinking? And what can a shot like that on this stage do for his confidence going forward?
I mean, if you're familiar with D-Live's game, then you know in high school he was shooting those threes. He was on a pretty good team, too, that ended up winning a few championships together. But D-Live had an expanded game, sort of say, when he was in high school. It's crazy. I was watching highlights not too long ago, but when he shoots that, I have the utmost confidence. I think it surprised a lot of people in the arena because of the attempts and that he hasn't had yet. But for him to step up and shoot that shot, we needed it, and created a little bit more separation in the game. It eased everybody else out, and it eased everybody else's feelings that were out there with him. And when you have our one of our vocal leaders making a three like that, you best believe he's going to come to the bench and let everybody know he made that shot. So everybody was happy for him, and we knew it was a big shot. So, man, more credit to him. Want him to keep working on it. But I don't know if he shoots it again, but if he's open and shoots it, then we have the confidence in him.
1st row, Tim.
Tim McMahon, ESPN. You talk about poise a lot. I know that's something you've worked with Luka on in terms of not letting frustration affect his focus. He vowed to stay out of it with the refs today. He did that. When he's locked in on the game and not the refs, what impact does that have on him? What impact does that have bleeding over the rest of you guys?
Yeah, well, Tim, I think what we have to also account for is we're in a very physical game. So when you're getting beat up like that, out there every single play down, you're going to have something to say to the refs. And in Luka's case, his relationship with the refs is not always the healthiest during games. And, the referees are humans too, so we have to respect what they do. They're just a big part of this game too. It could sway either way. And I think what you're seeing is him just taking accountability as best he can at this point in his life. And, he's a young person still trying to figure it out. So I give him that grace. But also we got to give him a little tough love where, we let him know and reiterate that you got to stay off those guys a little bit. So I think it's just lessons being learned. And when he is locked in like that and he's not paying attention to the rest, he is, a huge impactful player for us and a great leader for us. So we just want him to stay consistent on that and not be too hard on himself either if he's going to do that. If he gets a tech, so be it. No one's fratting the eye, but if we're trying to get back into the game and we need the refs, then there has to be a different perspective, a different approach you got to take. So sometimes a good conversation works with the refs. Sometimes eye-to-eye conversation works with them. But when you're shit-talking them and MFing them all the time, it could get to them too. So I'm not saying that we're all perfect, but we got to use everything to our advantage on a positive note.
Thanks, Kyrie.
Yep.